So what are some areas of credit that you feel people should know about? What are the important areas about it? I know like debt to income ratio, but what are some like other things to always consider?
Well, let's go above debt to income ratio. I mean, our system does give you all those areas, and I will talk about those. But um, most people, like when you go to other, so we are the only non-loan originating company in the country that is providing FICO scores in this scenario to consumers for free without originating a loan product. And that came from a strategic part. It took me 4 years to do that, to negotiate that, because FICO didn't actually allow their scores to be shown directly to consumers before that. But
Mm,
most people don't even realize that when I'm pulling, you hear about these horror stories about, hey, I've been following my credit score, and then I go pull an actual application, and I'm 80 points lower than what Credit Karma or anyone else showed you. That
yep.
doesn't say that Credit Karma is wrong. What happens is that all the internet sites, because FICO wasn't allowing anyone else to do this direct to consumer thing, you're looking at a Vantage score, and lenders actually utilize FICO scores. So that's the first part, is understanding what lenders are using and making it where, again, data democratization, where I see what you see, and now I know what you're working off of. Most people base their assumptions off of a Vantage score, which isn't even utilized, and that's where that first kind of misstep or gap happens. The second part of that is of course, debt to income ratio, really understanding that, keeping that debt to income ratio. Typically, you want it to be under 30%. But when it comes to credit utilization, it's okay to have credit. In our community, we're taught that credit is a bad thing. And that's not the case. Credit builds wealth, and that's one of the best ways to get wealth when used appropriately. But to get there, you have to understand that on a monthly basis, try to keep your credit utilization to under 10%. And then utilize that in a way that will help you grow. So I think those are there. Of course, there's a lot more, but those are really kind of two big factors. And as you create an account, we're getting ready to repush the second version of our platform with Experian. If you're unsure, if you log on and you connect, you do have to connect your bank account, but we don't actually have any access to do any transactions. It's just literally to analyze your last 2 years of transactions like a lender would.
Right.
The soft FICO pool. But once you do that, we will give you personalized videos that will literally explain your own credit and point out the different areas of impact that are really important to you. So with that, and I'll say the third, then I'll shut up, is the history of credit. We get to a point where, hey, I paid off this credit card, I'm going to turn it off. No, pay off the credit card and leave it active, but just don't use it. Turning it off actually hurts you.
Just put your Netflix bill on it.
Yeah, just keep it going and something small and utilize it. But people don't realize that turning off credit hurts you more than it helps you, because now you're losing lines of credit, and your credit history is shrinking. And credit history is a very big factor when it comes to determining what your credit score will be. So
yeah.
But our system will give you videos that'll teach you that, so you don't have to listen to someone like me talk. It'll be in a private context and they're short. They're like a minute or two, where it talks about these things and helps you understand how to leverage credit. I remember meeting an Indian guy. His name was Rajiv. He was really, really cool for me. He was a senior consultant when I was at Marketo. And he told me about utilizing credit cards to a point where if you like to travel, and most of us do like to travel, get a credit card that has points. And as you use one of these points, let pay all your bills, everything you do with the credit card, then pay the credit card off before the due date. Usually 8 days before the due date is set. And then when it comes to traveling, because you're spending so much on the credit card, you're earning twice the points than you would like an airline card or anything like that. So now when it's time for you to take trips and stuff, you literally have enough points to pay for your flight, for your hotels, etc. Man, I think I went like 2-3 years without ever buying a flight, because I had enough credit card points where I just used my credit card points for everything I did travel wise. So
yeah, like I spent the last year just really building up my financial literacy, and I was just kind of like blown away seeing it how people actually built their wealth. Like I think I talked to you about this. Like I'm just building up my net worth and stuff, and waiting for the next recession to happen. Right, obviously I'm not, recessions happen in normal business cycles, but what a lot of people do, or what I read, is that they pull all their credit lines, right, and then they dump it into the market when it bottoms out, and then within a year they're able to pay off that debt, and maybe they got like at least like a $5 to $10 risk reward ratio on the money they loaned out or whatever. So
You
it's,
know,
it's really powerful what you can do. Like even people pulling out. I was watching an interview on Earn Your Leisure, and this one guy talked about how he pulled out the home equity. He put out his ELOC, home equity value of his home, and put that into the stock market. And he was saying how he I think he got a 10x return, and this was like less than like 8 months. You know, especially if you bought options and stuff. And yeah, so it's like it's a game changer, man.